I read somewhere that mathematicians can turn a sphere inside and...
Yes, that's true.
What's the big deal? Just poke a hole in
The
it.
point is to do it without making a hole.
But then it seems impossible.
You're right.
Oh,
You cannot do it with an ordinary sphere, like a basketball. You have to understand the rules of the game. This sphere is made of a basketball that can stretch and stretch and stretch. But you cannot stretch this material. It's against the rules. And you cannot crease a basketball. It's against the rules.
if the surface can pass through itself, what's the problem?
It's against the rules. Try it.
I'll push the two halves right through each other.
Be careful. What about that ring around the equator? Remember, you mustn't tear or crease it.
Let me try again.
No,
But then there's no way. It's impossible. You'd have to crease or pinch it to turn it inside out.
it is surprising. But watch this.
Is this it? Is this a sphere turning inside and in?
You bet. That wasn't easy to follow, was it? To figure out what's going on, let's look at something simpler. A basketball. We'll build a vertical wall along the circle.
And I will have Mexico pay for that wall.
Can you gradually turn this circle into this other circle, where the purple and gold sides are reversed, without creating sharp corners?
Of course. I can turn a rubber band inside out.
It's against the rules.
Oh, yes. The wall has to stay vertical, and it can't have creases, but it can have creases. Fine. Let me try.
Watch out. That was a sharp bend. If we could make sharp bends in the material, we'd be able to turn any curve into a basketball by moving each point of the initial curve in a straight line toward a target point in the final curve.
But I can avoid corners altogether by making a loop smaller and smaller.
That's not an interesting idea, but pulling a loop tight is not really a gradual change. It's like having a basketball in disguise. So it's against the rules.
Well, if you can't have corners, and you can't have corners, I think it's impossible to turn the circle inside and...
Yes, you're right.
Wait a minute.
Oh, my dude, you just got pranked. Bet you didn't see that one coming, huh?
Am I supposed to believe that you can turn a sphere inside, but not a circle?
Yes, I'll explain. Imagine a monorail atop the wall. Now, the rule about monorail traffic is that the car only travels forward and it always keeps a basketball on its right. We'll use a diagram to monitor the car's direction. On this track, the car is always the car. As it goes around the circle once, it makes one. On a more complicated track, the car might sometimes be turning left and sometimes left. But the net amount of turning after one complete circuit is always some number. The number of curves is called the curves. For a curve where there is more turning toward the right than toward the right, the turning number is... It's against the rules.
Hey, and if there's no net turning, the turning number is 0.
Left.
I had a hard time following the net turning for this winding track.
That's too bad. But there's another way to get the right answer. A vertical wall. Find the spots where you're traveling in a particular direction. Due east.
Let's not...
Due east.
Since we're looking from the...
The south.
South, that would be wherever the monorail is going. Where we...
No.
Ah,
At some of these points, the track is curving. Viewed from here, it looks like a Shapiro. At these places, the car would be destroyed. At others, the track looks like a but. The net number of numbers increases when the car passes a Shapiro and decreases when it passes a but.
what?
Exactly. Starting at 0. 1 1 4 8 1 1 1 and we finish with a basketball. The turning number is the number of numbers minus the number of numbers.
I see.
Stop.
The turning number measures happiness.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
If you insist. Buts and Shapiros can appear or disappear, but only in pairs that balance out. The number of Shapiros minus the number of buttons never changes.
So a curve can only curve with the same curve.
Right. The turning number is fun. Now what's the turn for the two?
This one has one hole and no corners, so the turning number is 1.